What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into the Moon Knight Annual of 2023. This is also continuing on Contest of Chaos, with Agatha trying to create her new Darkhold. To do so, she must assemble a team of heroes. We have already seen the likes of Spider-Man versus Wolverine, Iron Man versus Storm, Human Torch versus Ghost Rider. And while I wasn't 100% sure on how they were gonna do this comic, I gotta say, out of all the Contests of Chaos, this one has been my favorite, because it is Moon Knight versus TAEGUKGI. Now, for those that don't know, Tai is essentially the South Korean Superman. He's an S-class superhuman. I-beams, mighty strength, invulnerability, the whole 9 yards. And so you gotta ask yourself, how could Moon Knight possibly win this fight? But the way that Agatha does this fight, it really is unique and it's a lot of fun, and I am super excited to dive into it. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with Moon Knight in the Jersey woods, as he sits here and he talks about the mythical, fabled creature known as the Jersey Devil. He has come here because something has called him. He's not really sure what it is, no idea what is drawing him here, but he can feel the buzzing in his teeth. He knows that he is getting closer. That's what picks us up with Tai. He also finds himself over the Jersey forest, not being a huge fan of having to fly into US airspace. He's not happy about being here, but he knows that he is needed here. He can't explain why, but he can feel it. As the two make their arrival, they are greeted by Agatha. Unlike all the other contests, she is letting them know exactly what is going on. She tells them that this is the Contest of Chaos. Two champions have been called. On one hand, we have the Korean Dynamo, the pride of the nation, the beating heart of Tiger Division. That, of course, is TAEGUKGI. On the other hand, the Lunar Legionary, the Crescent Crusader, the Fist of Khonshu, the one and only Moon Knight. Each of them drawn to a mysterious zone of chaos magic, where only one can walk away. And this fight hardly seems fair. An S-class superhuman versus a mentally ill war criminal. But no one ever said that the Contest of Chaos was a fair fight. All that was said is that nothing is certain in the Chaos Zones. This is where we see the crystal formations popping up all over the ground. Moon Knight and Tai making their introductions, both of them recognizing that they are both outside of their respected jurisdictions, but neither of them can fight the calling of the crystals, the very heart of all of it. Etsium crystals, pure, uncut chaos magic. They don't really know anything about the crystals, they just know that they need them. They know that they want to hoard them for themselves. With this uncontrollable urge, Moon Knight and Tai begin their battle. Because chaos magic is not something that can be merely found or bought or bartered. It must be earned. It must be fought for. It must be taken. With Moon Knight throwing his crescent moons, they just bounce off of Tai. With Moon Knight going in, he gets flipped over and thrown to the ground. Obviously, Moon Knight is out of his league. But the thing about these crystals, they possess a strange quality, enough to create what could rightfully be called a chaos zone. Refacting reality. It shows what is and what if. This is where we see the two of them transformed. Moon Knight transformed into Captain Crescent, his blood made divine by the serum, raised up as the fist of the god-conquered United States of Khonshu. And Tai, he never got those superhuman powers from that gem. Instead, he became the kingpin of South Korea. And so as the two of them begin to fight, we see that Captain Crescent, he definitely has the upper hand, with Tai getting whacked on the head with the shield. We see another transformation, a mummified version of the Fist of Khonshu, and the living embodiment of Tiger Division, the king of the mountains, the sacred tiger spirit of TAEGUKGI. It doesn't take long for Tai to knock off the head of the Moon Knight zombie, but Moon Knight still has some tricks up his sleeve. Using his rags, he tries to wrap up the tiger. But in trying to do so, we see Tai grab his arm and rip it off his body. And then Tai begins to beat Moon Knight's body with his own arm. Another giant flash. The chaos magic has raised the stakes. For despite all the talk of devils, it is gods who walk the Pine Barrens tonight. Moon Knight has become Spectre, the god of the moon. His title taken bloody-handed from the father he murdered. And then TAEGUKGI, the Psylocke incarnate, and he is crowned with the crystal shards of his power. Both of them at this point are on god-level status. And Tai is the first to throw a blow. Coming in with a heavy-powered punch, we see this reverberate out for at least half a mile. With the giant blue explosion, we see both Tai and Moon Knight left in the crater. Moon Knight telling him that this is folly, that he is the moon itself. His strengths move entire oceans. You cannot resist him any more than you could resist the tides. And so Tai says that he will fight the tides, he will fight the moon, he will fight death itself if need be, because no godling can ever frighten him. And Moon Knight has heard this before. That is what Khonshu had said before he killed him, taunting Tai, telling him to come fight me, come try to kill a god. As Tai gets ready to lay down a devastating blow, they are transformed back to their regular selves, trying to figure out what the heck is happening. Tai is saying that it's the crystals, that it's changing them into different versions of themselves, that it wants them to fight, that only one of them can take power. This is where Moon Knight says, you know what? Screw it. You win. With Tai absolutely confused. He's saying that I win just like that. And Moon Knight tells him just like that. Tai not really sure if this is a trick or what's going on. Moon Knight knows power. He's had all kinds of power. He's swung Thor's hammer. He's drove Ghost Rider's car. He struck with the Iron Fist. He burned with the Phoenix. And all of that got him absolutely nothing. Nothing but a broken life. Nothing but his kid taken far away from him. And so he's done. He let the Phoenix go. He can let this go. And so he tells Tai to go ahead and take the power. You seem like a good guy, a better guy than me. Maybe this will work out for you. But if it doesn't, don't say that I didn't warn you. With Agatha asking at the end of the story, do you think it will be different from the others? That Tai would be able to bend chaos magic to his will? Or was Moon Knight correct at the beginning of this story? But as this comic begins to close out, what we see is Agatha with her chaos team. Human Torch, Storm, Wolverine, TAEGUKGI. But this is not the end. We are at the halfway point, and we still have a handful of heroes to go through the contest. But that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I hope you guys see why I think this has been the best so far. Because obviously this fight was imbalanced. There was no way that Moon Knight was going to take on Tai. It simply wasn't gonna happen. Not without powering up Moon Knight. It was nice to see both of them depowered and also powered. We get to see Tai if he never encountered the gem. He never came across these powers. And if you don't know how he got these powers, I highly recommend that you check out my playlist that is Tiger Division. It really is the origin story of TAEGUKGI and how he came into all this power. But even more so, it was so nice to see that Moon Knight can be so powerful. We've seen it on a handful of occasions. He even mentioned a few of them himself. But it's not often that we get to see the god version of Moon Knight. The Moon Knight that killed Khonshu and took his place. And that versus essentially Superman. Neither of them could win that fight. It would be endless destruction with neither of them winning. But I think the way that Moon Knight ended this contest was the best part of this whole comic. Because Moon Knight, like he said, he's dealt with power. And it's something he wants nothing to do with anymore. After everything that he has endured, everything he has been through, after recreating the Midnight Mission, starting over completely, he has no thirst for more power. He has no thirst to become even more powerful than he already is. And the fact that he has the willpower to simply walk away. The only other person that we have seen be able to break the crystal's trance was Spider-Man. But Moon Knight walking away saying, you know what, dude, this is all yours. You can have it all, have the power, get the crystal. I hope it works out for you. You seem like a nice guy, but if it doesn't work out, I told you so. 100% on par, on character with who Moon Knight is. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes. This, like I said, hands down my favorite story of all the contests so far. Maybe that can be beat, but man, this is probably gonna be the best issue of the entire contest. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with Moon Knight, with the Contest of Chaos, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.